Alright, I just about can't even right now. Kind of killing time out here, waiting to see if the lady that said she's going to call me calls me. I can get a hold of her pretty shortly if she don't. It's already 2. Just want to make sure she's not stuck with lunch rush or whatever. So I went out and scoped May apples. We do have fruit, but they're all very small yet. I keep finding more and more patches where this is growing, so it is still spreading. Some of these smaller plants are still coming up. Looks like something walked through here too. There's a trail of tamp down that's big enough. I think it might be deer. I don't know. It's not really the reason that I made this video. I'll walk up here and show you why. I just can't even. Let's see. I don't want to say I'm confused because this is not. I know what. You know, it's. I've been feeling cursed for so long. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's a Siberian. All right, so I identified these plants here that I had thought were wineberry. They are not. They are an annual called Honesty. Oh, look at that. Poison oak. We get all 3 varieties. It's all the same plant with different leaf form, but it's usually considered kind of weird for them to all grow near each other. But I've got enough different plants that they can camouflage with, they seem to know. Okay, coming up here. What is that? Weird scrunchy. I don't know. This is critter footprints. So places where lawn clippings and such were dumped at one point, but I think it was like bagged in the mower, had gasoline and oil fumes. That's what we get, is this stuff doesn't really want to grow. Seen a lot of ferns. Like I said, there's a ton of May apples that I keep finding patches. The ones on the other side are quite expansive. So I came through here and I mowed. And I really, really, really wish I had done a walkthrough first. Because, dude, this shit is everywhere. Everywhere. These ones that I clipped. As long as there's a place for the sun to hit it. I have to think that the reason that this is doing this is there is a legal hemp farm a few miles from here, and I'm guessing that this is like the birds are carrying it, shitting seeds or something. But that's cool too, because that means that this stuff is probably, even in its wild form, is going to be an interesting smoke. There are cultivation time frames that they do on the industrial stuff to keep the THC low. And if you do not follow that time frame, you might have some other successes. But I'm really sad because a bunch of these got chopped. But as I'm finding here, some of them are far enough off the path that they're not. But these are like little squat female plants. But that's cool too, because I think these will come up in seed. So these are on a south-facing north half of the trail. And yeah, I just got to keep the other plants back from them. Keep them, you know, cleared around like I was doing with the other in the yard. Fuck, dude. I thought I was going to get like a dime's worth of hemp. I'm going to get like an ounce or something out of this crop. That is amazing. That makes me happy. They're just everywhere. So I have to be real super careful. The thing is, I let the lawn go. I mow maybe 2 absolute tops. This year's probably because of all this rain. I'll have to mow the lawn a total of 3 times between now and the fall. Like, and we're talking like November for the third mow. So I really don't have to come back through here with the tractor at all at any further point. What? Oh, that must be some wheel dragging shit or something, but that's... I don't know, man. Yeah, that might have been me. Maybe the tire was low. Wheel was dragging. So anyways, yeah, that's the main thing. I'm seeing some, of course, more parsnip here too, which is great. And unfortunately, there's some poison shit all around it. But the other cool thing is there's also ferns down in the woods, like real ferns. Those are very beautiful. I just ran this through the plant identifier and confirmed visually that it is the same leaf. This is called Japanese olive. This creates a bunch of sweet fruit that are edible, and there are several of these on the land, and I'm going to locate them and make a list so that I can come out and check on them for berries as well. So we've got May apples, we've got grapes, we've got wild raspberries, we've got mulberries. Now we've got these Japanese olive or whatever. Got parsnips, fuckload of hemp. Oh, man. Seriously. So if all of my trees in my dreams vanish, and I did not understand it, maybe in their place, I'll just have this gargantuan hemp field on the side of a hill that just grows there. So the interesting thing with that particular, that's, I was saying rudensis, it's ruderalis. And the way for me to remember that is that it's closer to lateralis. So, the thing with this is, it is what is called an auto-flowering plant. It doesn't matter what your lighting schedule is. When it reaches maturity, it will flower. And that tends to be hybridized into the indicas and sativas of marijuana, so that regardless of schedule, they will bloom. So then you have seeds of auto-flowering. If somebody buys seeds they want after X number of weeks, you don't have to mess with elongating your light cycles or whatever. I just did some looking up to find out about this stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Here's where I got the tractor stuck. I kind of went around the side to see if I could mow some hillside. And this is, I believe, sufficiently covered by canopy that there wasn't anything hemp-wise in here. But realizing that the other plants were not, edible necessarily, and thinking it would be cool to try and park some of this out, I went through there, and then I got stuck, and then I had to put together about 50 plus feet of doubled up clothesline cable, like metal wire with the green plastic over it, and the yellow rope that I've used for years and years. I had to quadruple that just to make sure that nothing was going to snap. And I managed to very, very easily just drag it right out. Necessity breeds ingenuity. So yeah, and I mean, if I want to get like really crazy, these are walnuts. They are black walnuts. They do make walnuts, which means I can get walnuts on top of the bardocks and the parsnips and the various fruits. This here's pretty wild. This is poison ivy. Yeah, leaves of 3, let them be. These are big leaves. Man, I'm not touching it, don't worry. Big leaves. But this is a vine that I cut here to kill what was growing up the tree, and that's dead, but this here is trying to reach out, so now I gotta deal with that. The problem is, you cut it back, it'll come back again. So, yeah. Also, when I was checking out the May apples on this end over this way, and I followed the game trail across to come up on the main path, I noticed that there was a piece of wood and some leaves and such that had fallen across the kind of drainage gully or whatever, and it's doing that thing where it builds up a bunch of soil and leaves and creates kind of a cataract that erodes out below it. So the game trail crossing is actually a lot more stable this year than it has been in the past. It's not so much of a down a hill leap, then go up a hill. Edible nettles. Those don't even actually sting me anymore. It's hilarious. So anyways, I think that's it. I'm going to finish it there. But yeah, my mind is blown here about how much of that is growing over there. The ones I got over here. Whether or not these other things next to my door are. But manna from heaven. That's all I can say. Manna from heaven. All right, starting to sprinkle. Signing off.